What's up, everybody? It's your boy King Hussle. And yes, it's the best money and credit channel on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell. So whenever I drop new sauce, new lessons, new methods, and giveaways, you will be the first one to be notified. You will be the first one to know what's going on. And hey, you might be the first one to win something for free. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell on all the YouTube channels. Also, make sure you follow me on my Twitch, King Hussle Live. I do all my freebies and giveaways from those YouTube channels and that Twitch. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell so you won't miss out on nothing. Also, make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. Make sure y'all subscribe, hit the notification bell, all YouTube channels and Twitch. Make sure you get a FaceTime verification call or video to make sure you see this face. Make sure you are doing legit business and you are getting what you paid for, right? And before we get anything started, this is all educational purposes only, not telling anybody to do anything. So let's get this thing started. Hey, let's get this thing started. Hey, what to do, my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, my real Hustle Nation Empire family members. And we are back at it again with the gems, back at it again with the sauce, back at it again with the information that's going to turn you into a boss. So you tired of being a zero? You ready to be a family hero? Listen up, take a seat, get your notepad and get your pen, because you already know when I drop these videos and y'all get them notifications, it's going to be some information that's going to help you win, all right? And in today's video, we're going to talk about CPN and credit fraud. Yes, CPN credit fraud. How a lot of people are turning into millionaires with CPNs, with credit, with businesses utilizing this system. Now, a lot of people are confused. A lot of people are misguided out there about what a CPN is. Now, a CPN is quote unquote a credit privacy number, a credit profile number. A CPN is a made up word. There before COVID-19, before 2020, the word CPN did not exist. You never heard anybody talk about a CPN this, CPN that, because if they did, they would. CPNs didn't exist until after COVID-19. And people just came up with a clever name for synthetic identities. Now, CPNs are credit profiles that utilize new numbers surrounded around that person's information. So if my name is John Smith, on that CPN, I'm gonna use the same name. I'm gonna use the same information, change the address, so on and so on. So people who create CPNs are creating new credit profiles. And the problem that they run into is either A, finding a new number, or B, getting a bank account with that new credit privacy number, credit profile number, quote unquote CPN. So a lot of people are lazy. A lot of people want things right then and there. A lot of people don't want to go through the headache. So a lot of people have figured out another way to utilize CPNs, and they call them pre-built CPNs, where they utilize other people's identity and credit profiles. Now, people who understand credit and understands how credit is utilized and built, there is no way for you to pre-build a CPN, pre-build a credit profile, unless it has a name, a number, information connected to it. That's the only way anybody can get a credit profile, a credit score. So people they steal this information. Now, how do they steal this information? How do they come across this information? The way the world is set up right now, the way the world is operating, there are many ways that fraudsters and scammers and hackers come across people's information. You got people who are hackers. You got people who work in businesses like the banks. And you got people who do a lot of things and work in a lot of businesses that deal with our information. So if you get people who work in that banks, 9 times out of 10, out of a 5-day week, they're at home working from home 3 days out of that week. And 2 days, they probably might be in the office. A lot of times people aren't going into call centers and working. A lot of times they are working from home now since COVID-19. And I say this because banks, when we call the bank, you got to have the security number. I mean, you got to have your account route number. You got to have your lucky number. You got to have the street you grew up on. You got to have your favorite color. You got to have all this information, your birthday, they want to verify that it's you, because there's so much fraud and scamming going on in the world. Every bank website has the warning that bank has been getting a lot of fraud, scams, and people impersonating that bank using OTP bots and one-time passwords. That's what OTP means, one-time password. So when you're on the phone with somebody, or you get those random text messages saying confirm this or confirm that, or you get a random call sounding like a real operator. That's what it is. An OTP bot is to steal somebody's information over the phone. So people create these. They find these numbers that have not been issued. They get that number. They connect it to that information. So basically, they get that number and then they go fill out documentations with that information, that number. They find banks that don't pull from the check system because people who know that if this is a brand new credit profile, you 35 years old and you ain't never had a bank account, this information is not in the check system, it's going to be a problem. It's going to get red flagged. So people find banks that do not pull from the check system, and it's easy for them to open up bank accounts with that profile, and they start depositing money. Now, some of these banks might even offer credit builder loans or credit cards, which will help establish credit on that profile. So if that bank offers a credit builder loan or credit card and you get that, it's going to report on that credit profile, which is going to start building that credit score. Now you're building a credit profile for TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian on this credit profile. And it's just like anybody will be doing with their original credit profile, building the credit, building the payment history, building the age and the debt on it to show and prove that you can manage money. Because most people who utilize CPNs the right way, they just use their own ID because it's the same name, same information. Just the address is different. You know, people use their old addresses all the time. So now they got an ID, now they got this information, all the good stuff like that. They got secure credit cards from that bank that they got a bank account with. Now they building the credit profiles, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Now they got a credit score. Now they doing different things because we all know credit cards. When you get credit cards and they report to your credit profile, you don't even have to use them. If you don't use your credit card, each month it will report as good payment history, which will build your credit score. That's a little trick, a little hack. And if you use it and stay under the utilization rate and pay it off, it'll report even more. So then people will get furniture loans, credit builder loans, just do everything that they can to start building that credit profile, right? And it's all about having the knowledge that they have about credit, because everything that people are doing legally, somebody's going to figure out how to do it illegally. Wherever there's money being made, there's some type of scam or fraud being committed. And that's just the honest to God truth. And that's why the world is the way it is right now, because there's so much going on and so many people aren't aware of what's going on that they're becoming victims because they didn't see the red flags. So that's a CPN. Pre-built CPNs are utilizing somebody else's information. So if people are selling these pre-built CPNs or stolen credit profiles and having people are under the impression that they can use it, people got to understand that people got a lot of security databases on their accounts. So people got Norton LifeLock, people freeze their credit profiles, people do a lot of different things. So if somebody uses this credit profile, this pre-built CPN, and they go get a car, try to get a car, that person is going to get alerted that somebody either got a loan, an auto loan, or is trying to get one. And it's going to show where this loan is coming from, which is going to allow that person, the victim, to be able to call and say, hey, that's not me. Somebody's committing fraud under my name. Because that driver's license number, that barcode on the back of that driver's license number, that information that you give them, birthday, age, and name, is connected, and it's connected to somebody in the DMV. And that's why it's a lot of ID cards, ID scanners going around in these businesses, because so many people are using fake IDs nowadays to commit so many different scams and fraud that they got to check them IDs. A lot of these driver's license numbers don't be real. A lot of the information don't be real, but that social security number is real. And the social security number that you put on that piece of paper of this person who credit profile you're stealing or utilizing, and it matches that name on that ID with your picture, that's identity theft. And that's what a lot of people are actually doing. They're coming across the dark web buying information, or people who might know people and working certain jobs and get information, coming across these people, and people are basically getting that information, might make a fake ID with your picture on it and say, here you go, CPN. Then this person go into the car dealership or go into the bank and try to open up these accounts or get this car, and then they go to jail, because that's identity theft. That's not an accurate way of doing things. That's not accurate. That's not a real CPN. That's stolen identity. When you build a real CPN, that number is not attached to anybody. And once you get that number and build it, it's now attached to you. And that's what people got to understand. So people are utilizing pre-built CPNs and regular CPNs to get loans, credit cards, and lines of credit. Now, people understand that you can get larger loans on the business side, more funding on the business side. And that's why a lot of people after COVID-19, after the PPP loans, everybody wants a business. Everybody wants to get into the business world. So many people want to learn about credit because they're starting to see how credit can legally benefit you in the long run, benefit you from opening up a business, helping you invest into your equipment, into products, into services and things like that. And those same people are seeing that you can do it legally and saying the same way you can do it legally, you can do it illegally. Point blank, period. And people want to be able to get money without having to come back on them, having to pay it back. That's the whole point of scamming and fraud. That's why people do it. They want a lump sum of, everybody wants money, and these people want a lump sum of money without being seen and not having to pay it back and not having to worry about anything else. So that's why a lot of people commit fraud and scams, get into this credit world and the business funding world, because people want the bag. People are starting to see how you can really become a self-made millionaire just off credit. You'll get $1 million in credit faster than doing anything else in this world. Because if you build your business and you got it structured the right way and you make enough money on paper, they'll lend you $1 million for sure. And people are saying, I need that bag. And then you got people who are legally scamming with the trust funds and the bankruptcies. Trust funds, irrevocable trust funds, protect all your assets. Bankruptcies, clear your debt, basically. If you put money into that trust fund, it's protected. So whatever's in there is protected. When you get business loans and funding, they don't care what you do with that money. It's money. They know you're going to spend that money. So if you want to go put that money in another account, they're not saying, okay, we seen you took out $100,000. What did you do with that money? No, they don't care. As long as you paying that they money. So you can put whatever you want to put into that trust fund, however much. As long as you paying back that bank's money, that's all they care about. And if all you need is a couple of pieces of documentation to get approved for a loan, there are people out here that will actually get synthetic documentations and apply for loans, and sometimes they actually get approved. So understanding why credit is so important, because credit equals cash, credit equals saving money, credit equals a better life. Why people are utilizing it with scams and fraud? Because wherever there's money being made, there's some type of scam or some type of fraud being committed, and credit is being allowing people to get loans, credit cards, and lines of credit at high amounts. Best believe a scammer or fraudster is going to hop in that field and try to figure out how they can get that funding the exact same way without it coming back on them or them having to pay for it. So it's all about being more safe, being more cautious, and being more aware, because at the end of the day, people are out here scamming. People are out here committing fraud. People are out here utilizing pre-built CPNs, which is identity theft. And nobody wants their identity stolen. Point blank, period. So it's all about being more safe, more cautious, and aware. Norton LifeLock monitoring you guys' account, any social media account, any bank account, anything. You can monitor it on Norton LifeLock, and if anything suspicious happens, they'll send you an alert to notify you, and you can go check out and see what's going on. Make sure you guys are freezing your credit bureaus on TransUnion, Equifax, and Experience, so nobody can get anything your name from credit cards, loans, cars, homes, you name it. Make sure you guys are, after so often, changing out your debit and credit cards, swapping the numbers on them, the information, because every time you use that POS machine at these places, your information is being recorded and is now on that database. And there's so much hacking, so much compromising going on in the world that people are getting other people's information, and you don't want to be a victim. So if you're steps ahead of the scammer or the fraudster, you'll be able to protect yourself. That information that's on that database will no longer be valid, and you can continue to, keep your money, right? So It's just all about being more safe, more cautious, and being more aware. Because if you are aware, you'll be able to point out and see the scams before they happen, which are a red flag, and you'll be able to know how to protect yourself, protect your people, protect anybody or the person it's about to happen to, right? So CPN credit scams are going hand in hand. A lot of people are making a lot of money from hundreds of thousands to millions, different ways. Donald Trump even had a CPN 750 in taxes. I told y'all that 6 years ago, and then look what happened recently. Indicted for it, never went to jail, never, like, crazy. So make sure you guys are really listening to what I'm saying, paying attention to what I'm saying, because it can very much so help you, protect you, and also help you grow and win and staying safe. All right. So shout out to all my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, because without y'all, there'd be no me. Y'all motivate me to keep going. Y'all motivate me to keep dropping this sauce, and y'all motivate me to keep y'all entertained. So shout out to all of y'all. Anybody out there that's tired of being broke, because it ain't no joke, let's get to work. FaceTime 101 limited gyms are $1,000. But for limited time only, I am doing it for 600. Yes, 600 Cash App or Bitcoin payment. Once the 600 is on your Cash App or Bitcoin balance, send me a screenshot. Let me know your payment ready, and we will go from there. All right. No screenshots, no replies, no 21 questions, and please do not yell me. Also, make sure you guys are booking y'all seat on the webinars Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. In these webinars, it's all about knowledge, power, information, and resources. We're gonna talk about anything, everything from credit, personal business, investing, real estate, uh passive income, life issues, business issues, everything we can talk about. We're gonna talk about it, and these videos will end up on my podcast channel. So make sure you guys dress to impress, not even dress to impress, just ready. Y'all got y'all thinking caps and knowledge caps on, and y'all ready to promote y'all platforms and get to work. Also, make sure y'all booking y'all seat on the crypto tour in-person limited gyms, $3,500 deposit, the rest of the money meet in person. Make sure y'all booking y'all. Make sure y'all checking out my. Make sure y'all booking y'all seat on the month-long mentorship, 30 days, 2,500. Anything you need help with, let's get to work. Make sure y'all checking out my vendor platforms on Telegram and the Potato app, me and their network. Still looking for people for the production company. Still looking for people, rappers, singers, models, producers, cameramen, women, gaming streamers, and content creators. Make sure y'all subscribe and hit the all notification bell on my YouTube channels and my Twitch. Make sure you follow me on all my social media. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell on all my YouTube channels and my Twitch. Make sure you follow me on my new IG, King Hustle X11.2. Make sure y'all check it out the crypto world, because it's changing people's lives. And make sure you check it out my music channel, King Hustle X1M. Just dropped a new music mixtape, my latest mixtape, Hustle and Flow. Just dropped a new music video, Camp with Me, and a new single, Scamming Out the Mansion. Go like, share, comment, subscribe, run them views, comments, and them likes up, all right? And with that being said, it's your boy, King Hustle. Y'all know how I get down in these videos. I'll see you at the next lesson, video, or live. Peace.